Hello. Hello.
Hello, Aku. Krishna, ఏంటి?
Students, who is this?
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Very, very happy morning to one and all. Welcome to the IEBE session, Indian Ethics in the Business Management, Business Ethics. And today the session 2, we are going with our resource person, Mr. Bhagi Surya Narayana Murthy, sir, is with us. Thank you so much, sir, for joining with us. Dear students, here Mr. B.S.N. Murthy, he is a psychologist, educationist, motivational speaker, and life skill trainer as well. Mr. B.S.N. Murthy is a graduate of science as well as law from Osmania University, while he holds master's degree in business administration from Newport University, California, USA. And he holds master's degree from Acharya Nagarjuna University and PG of in psychology. Not only that, Mr. B.S.N. Murthy possesses 2 decades of experience in life skills as a soft skill trainer, while being instrumental in conveying and implementing many creative teaching techniques to meet the modern day training demand. Not only that, Mr. B.S.N. Murthy, educationist, he mentored educational institutions for their successful running with his real-time applications, skills in academic, administration, and financial management. He is the founder secretary of the reputed schools in Hyderabad. That's obviously you people well known. The school name is Kennedy High School and Smart Kennedy School. He is recognized as one among the panel of eminent trainers by Vivekananda Institute of Human Excellence, that is Ramakrishna Math, located at Hyderabad, Domalguda. He is a senior faculty member in Vivekananda Institute of Human Excellence, imparting training on soft skills and personality development. He is the founder and CEO of Chinmayi Synergies, a training and counseling organization which successfully trained pre-primary teachers with the required skills in the early childhood education. Mr. B.S.N. Murthy, working as a vice president of PSPA, that is Private School Principal Association. Not only that, he is heading HOD for Teacher Training Division in Jawaharlal Nehru National Youth Center, Council for Education and Training. The great personality is with us today, and he has won a number of awards. In that, I'm reading very few. He has a crown of arts. From that crown, a very few feathers I'm reading out here. Mr. B.N.S. Murthy awarded as Acharya Devo Bhava in 2014 on the occasion of Teachers' Day, organized by Brainfeed magazine. Not only that, Bharat Vidya Shiromani Award by International Institute of Education and Management, New Delhi. The award was presented by Sri K.E. Krishnamurthy, former Chief Election Commissioner of India. One more feather, Rakshatriya Vidya Gaurav Gold Medal Award by Indian Solidarity Council, New Delhi. The award was presented by Sri Bhishma Narayana Singh, former Governor of Tamil Nadu. Nation Builder Award 2015 by Rotary Club of Hyderabad on the occasion of Teachers' Day. The award presented by former Deputy Chief Minister and former Education Minister of Govt of Telangana, Sri Kadiyam Srihari. Bharat Excellence Award by Friendship Forum, New Delhi. Award presented by Randir Singh, former Governor of Sikkim. Bharat Vikas Award by Institute of Self-Reliance, Bhubaneswar, and Tutors Pride Ideal Teachers Award 2018 under the Teachers of the Year for Life Change category. The award was presented by former Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh and former Governor of Tamil Nadu, Sri K. Roshaya Garu. But the platform is yours now, and we are eagerly waiting for you from listening the materialistic things and eternal development of self-development, human excellence. And our people are very much enthusiastic because the great personalities in front of us on so many you worked as a soft skills trainer, psychologist, educationist, motivational speaker, life skill trainer. So the platform is yours now, sir. You have 90 minutes of time, and we are warmly welcoming you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot. Namaskar and uh, a very good morning to all of you. Professor Pushpalata Garu and then the management of Vishwani Institute and also all the students. I only see, not any faces. So can you switch on your videos, please, students? Is that a principle that you don't switch on your videos or something like that?
Some people already switched on.
All the faces are very beautiful and then handsome. Yes, Sanat Kumar, Kirtana, Raga, Sudha, good names. Samreen, Sultana. Yes, please. Yes, because I just wanted to see your expressions also. I know some of you got up just now. Some of you are still brushing your teeth. That's the reason why you're hiding your faces. But you're all PG students, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, so good. Very good topic given to me. Little dry, on the face of it because it says balancing knowledge, materialistic and eternal. ये क्या है भाई? Materialistic and eternal. That of course, I'll just I'll be telling you some stories. Just to my point forward. I hope you still are used to listening to stories because it happens in LKG and UKG, but let us continue because when someone is telling you a story, immediately the antennas will be up and then you'll be more focused and then more attentive as far as the session is concerned. Now the story goes like this. There was a software engineer father and he's making maybe a lakh or a lakh and a half every month, and then he has a son, and this son because father is making good money, so he's joined a very good school, international school. And you know what happens with international school, the bus that comes near his house is AC, and then he reaches the school in the AC bus. The classroom is AC, the dormitories are AC, the washroom is AC, and the playground is also AC because it's an international school. And everything is AC, and then he's enjoying it. Father got it out because he studied in a Jilla Parishad school and in a government college in some remote place, a B class town or a C class town, and then he groomed himself to become a software engineer. So what he did is, he actually wanted to show his son what exactly is poverty, what exactly is problem. So what he did is he took his son one day, and then they went into the village where he studied. So the whole day they spent in the village. The father was showing him all that, the Jilla Parishad school and where he played and all those things. And then evening they drove back to city. And then before going to bed, father asked the son, "Son, did you understand what problem is, what poverty is?" This is what is the question of father. The son immediately said, "Yes, dad, I understood." He said, "Okay, you explain, what did you understand?" Then the son started, around 6 or 7 year old son. He started explaining. The first thing he explained is, we have one pet dog at home, but they have many. That is my first observation, he said. And my second observation is, a mother in Hyderabad waits every alternate day to collect drinking water, and then we drink that water for almost 2 days because we get water only on alternate days. But there, the streams are flowing, rivers are flowing, they can take as much as they can and then utilize that. He said, this is my second observation. And then the third observation is, We go to Raitu Bazaar every week. We get all the vegetables that are required for the entire week, and then we push them or stack them into the refrigerator, and we cook them and eat them for a week. But there, they're growing them fresh, cutting them fresh, cooking them fresh, eating them fresh. This is my third observation. Fourth observation is at 6 o'clock in the evening, they switch on and the light glows on their head. But we do that. But for them, without switching on anything, the stars are there in the sky. So after these four observations, Dad, I understood how poor we are. Did you understand what exactly is this? I'm trying to tell you that, we are in a very, very materialistic world, mechanical world. You're in a rat race. Of course, you're in PG1, or maybe tomorrow you pass out, graduate through your college, and then search for a job or do your own business. Then the mechanical life starts. You must be getting a taste of it right now also. And then in that rat race, you really forget what happiness is. You really forget what is to be done, and you keep on doing what you're not supposed to do. And then the first thing that you cut off or sacrifice is happiness, which you're not supposed to. There are a lot of eternal things that we have that are permanent, and then there are something called as spiritual things. Don't get mistaken by spiritual. If I say spiritual, don't think that it is chanting mantras and then doing pujas. Never get mistaken with that. Try and understand one important thing. Spiritually, the ethics and morals. To be happy is spiritual. To be with yourself is spiritual. Are you with yourself? There are a lot of things. If I take your age group, there are a lot of attractions for you. And then 99% of these attractions, or maybe 90% in some cases, or maybe 80% in some cases, are unwanted attractions. What are these unwanted attractions? If you just go through your daily routine from morning to evening, from the time you get up from bed till the time you hit the bed in the night, if you just check what exactly are you doing, I would challenge with you that 70% of the things that you're doing will be useless things. What is useless? Something you may say that something that is useful for me, sir, it may be useless for you because you're double my age. But what I'm trying to tell you is useless for not for me. Something that you're doing is useless for your future. If it is useful for yourself, for your future, for building up a better future for yourself, better career for yourself, then that is a useful thing. If it is not at all useful or not at all connected to what you want to achieve in life, that ultimate thing that you want to achieve in life, then that's a useless thing. Now you may have 101 questions, sir. Entertainment. What do you say about entertainment? Do we require entertainment? Not. Yes, you require entertainment. I'm not saying entertainment is part of your daily routine, but how much? That you got to decide. I cannot decide. For me, half an hour of entertainment is sufficient. But for you, you got to check whether it is half an hour or 1 hour or 10 hours or 12 hours or 24 hours. That's up to you to decide. Based on what career path you want to take up, and then where exactly you want to, you want to reach. What is the purpose of your life? Do you have a purpose? That's one big question mark. If you did not ask yourself, you got to ask this question to yourself, that what is the purpose of my life? Because when we die and then go there in heaven, God also will ask, kya karke aaya re? There was one person who lived his life, died, went to heaven. At the gates of heaven, God was waiting, and then he said, come, da. But there is one simple thing that you got to do to get entry into the gates of heaven. That is what God said. What is that? I will ask you a question, you got to answer that question. If you answer the question, you will get entry into heaven. If you don't answer the question, you will go to hell. Then this fellow said, Arey, what is this? All through my life, it was questions only. LKG में question, UKG में question, first class में question, 10th class में question, inter में question, PG में question. What is this? All through I have gone through questions, but even here you want questions. And God said only one question. You got to answer only one question. You answer, you will get entry into heaven. Okay, ask me what is the question. Then God asked, I have sent you to earth for a purpose. Did you accomplish that purpose? That is what is the question. And then you give me the answer, you will get entry. This fellow said, Kya purpose? Then said, no, if you don't answer, you're not going to get entry. Then immediately he said, okay, Baba, I'll tell you my story of my life. I was born at the age of 3. They put me in school. I went to school, came back home, went to school, came back home, went to school, came back home, went to school, came back home. I did that for around 13 years. After that, I got an admission into a college. I went to college, came back home, went to college, came back home, went to college, came back home, went to college, came back home. I did that for another 7, 8, 9 years. After that, I got a job. I went to office, came back home, went to office, came back home, went to office, came back home, went to office, came back home. I did that for 40 years. I died and then I'm here. God said, no. Purpose for which I have sent you. Purpose or purpose kuch nahi janta. Sorry, no entry into heaven. Please go to hell. Try and understand this aspect. This may look like a story for you, but lot of meaning here. There was a dog running. What happens when a dog runs? One more dog was running. 2 more dogs, 10 more dogs, 20 more dogs, 30 more dogs, 40, 50, 100 dogs were running. The first dog started going from one village to other, one village to other, one village to other, one village to other. It went into a jungle, and all the 99 dogs are following this first dog. From one village to other, one village to other. The first dog took a U-turn after it entered the jungle, and then it came back. The 100th dog asked the first dog, Kaiku Bagra re, why are you running? Then the first dog said, I was chasing a rabbit. Only the first dog had a purpose for which it is running. All the 99 dogs did not have a purpose. Again, the 100th dog asked the first dog, Mila kya? Did you get it? You were the first. We 99 were behind you. Did you get it? The first dog said, no, I did not get it. Why? You were in the beginning. You were the first running behind the rabbit. Then the first dog gave a very powerful reply. You got to understand this. If I get it, it is one meal for me. But for the rabbit, it is life. The purpose of the rabbit is stronger than my purpose. That is the reason why it emerged as a winner today. Try and understand what is the purpose of your life. Where are you heading? 5 years from now, how you want your life to be. 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now, 40, 50, 60, you must be between 20 and 25. So what is the, how many years you're going to live for? 100 years. So how many years are left out for you? 75 years to go. Out of the 75 years to go, where do you stand now? You're just completed 20, 21 or 22, that's all. 80 years. Now the wrong decision that you're taking now at this point of time, the way you balance your knowledge, that is between the materialistic thing and then the eternal thing, that is where the problem starts. If you take a wrong step here, whole 75 years you're going to suffer. You will not be happy for 75 years. Here, what decisions we have to take? That's the most important aspect. Are we taking the right decision or not? What is right for me? What is wrong for me? This is a big question mark for everyone. What is my pathway, or where am I heading? Try to understand that first. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 years to come, whatever you want to become. Best of an engineer, best of a doctor, best of whatever you want in your particular profession. If you are really, if you locked your purpose, then there will be a lot of things like that can happen. Their path will be coming in. There was an elderly person standing in a crossroads. Someone like you went and asked this uncle, if I take this road, where will it go? Then the uncle ulta asked you, where exactly you want to go? Then immediately you said, I don't know. Because you don't know where you're going. You said, I don't know. Then immediately the uncle said, if you don't know where you're going, you can take any road and go. Try to understand what the meaning behind this. first thing is you got to lock your destination. Where are you heading? Then use this knowledge, balance it between what is materialistic and what is eternal here. Okay. Now, shall I start my slideshow, please? Can I share my screen?
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
Sure, sir.
Is it visible to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Okay. Now there is this sloka from Bhagavad Gita. Krodha bhavati sammoha, sammohas prithivibhrama. Prithibram sat buddhinasho, buddhinasha prayastati. Try and understand this. From anger, delusion arises. And from delusion, bewilderment from the memory. When the memory is bewildered, intelligence is lost. And when intelligence is lost, one feels down again into the material pool. Try and understand this. Anger. There are a lot of emotions that we have. What is emotion? Emotion is everything. That is one thing that differentiates a human being from an animal or any other living being. They cannot express their emotions. We can express our emotions very well. We have thousands of emotions on our face itself. You're happy, it's an emotion. You're smiling, it's an emotion. You're laughing, it's an emotion. You're crying, it's an emotion. You're angry, it's an emotion. You're depressed, it's an emotion. There are hundreds and thousands of emotions that are there, but this emotion leads to behavior. In that behavior, if your emotions are not under your control, where will you end up? There may be sometimes it so happens that you end up with cutting off relationships also. It's very, very important that even you have that intelligence also is lost when your anger level is up. Your intelligence is most important aspect. One incident that happened in Hyderabad only. Let me talk about this incident. This happened maybe 100 years ago. There was this person called as Madan Mohan Malavi. You might have heard about this man. He is a founder of Banaras Hindu University. Apart from that, he's also a freedom fighter in the Indian freedom struggle. This man got an idea of constructing or constituting a big university. So when he got this idea, different parts of India were ruled by different kings. And when he got this idea, he did not have any money on hand. He was a learned gentleman, but money is a problem because he has to acquire lands and then huge buildings are to be constructed. So he started in search of fund. And then he went on Chanda Vasool to different kingdoms. He went from one kingdom to other and then started asking for funds that are required to constitute this university. So he was going from one kingdom to other, and then he landed up in our Hyderabad. And Hyderabad, the king of Hyderabad then was the Nizam of Hyderabad, maybe sitting in the Falaknuma palace. And he barged in, and then he said, "I have come on this purpose. I heard you're a rich person in this part of the world, so I am planning to construct a big university which will be useful for generations together to impart knowledge and wisdom. So why not you donate something for the purpose of this particular thing?" And immediately the Nizam was not in a good mood on that day. He said, "Chanda unda kuch nahi jao. I am not going to pay you anything." This learned gentleman, Madan Mohan Malaviya, said, "Nothing doing. I have come, I have traveled all the way from Varanasi and then I am here. I have to take something and then go. So I am sitting on a bhuk hartal, a hunger strike in your darbar itself." And then he sat there in Falaknuma Palace saying that I am going to be in the hunger strike till you pay me something and then. Nizam was getting irritated. His anger levels started going up, up and up. And there was one stage where he lost control of his anger, and then he took his chappal and then he threw it on Madan Mohan Malaviya. Generally, throwing a chappal on a person is considered to be insult. This man, Madan Mohan Malaviya, did not take it as an insult. He immediately, picked up that chappal into his hands, and then he moved out of the Falaknuma palace. And then near Charminar, there is one place called as Madina. Medina was a very big market in those days. And then he went and then sat in Medina market, and he said, King's Chapel is on auction, and Mera Gana hai 1 Anna or whatever currency was there in that. Because it is King's Chapel, all the businessmen started participating in the auction. The auction slowly started from 1 to 10 to tens to hundreds, thousands, like that. And Nizam, sitting in the Darbar, got this information that his chapel is on auction. I don't know what he thought of. Immediately, he called his Divanchi, the accountant, and he said to take this money and then go there, participate in the auction, and then get back my chapel. He obeyed the orders exactly what Nizam said, and then this Divanchi goes and then participates in the auction. He gets back the chapel of Nizam and then gives it back to Nizam. Money that is collected in that particular, auction is utilized by Madan Mohan Malaviya in the construction of Banaras Hindu University. Why did I tell you this story? Intelligence will be there, but anger lost, your intelligence is also lost. If you lost control on anger, your intelligence does not make any difference there. Try and understand this. The major difference between materialistic and eternal things, right? And now, go to the next slide. Let us see this data. You've been doing this right from your LKG onwards. Data becomes information once you process it. Information, from that information you get your knowledge, and then finally that knowledge, when it's applied, when you apply this knowledge, put it into practice, it becomes wisdom. Now, adding value as far as your data is concerned, contextualized, categorized, calculated, corrected, condensed. Then you do the quantitative cost analysis, speed, capacity, and then timeliness, relevance, clarity. All these things is the process that goes on as far as the data that you receive is concerned. And then it transforms into information that is quantitative, and there is some connectivity, transactions are there, quantitative, and then informativeness and usefulness will be there. And it adds value. That value added is comparison, consequence, connections, and conversations. Finally, it becomes knowledge, and then it becomes wisdom. Try and understand how much of this knowledge is being properly utilized. You have enough knowledge for yourself. What did you do with this knowledge when there was a lockdown, or when your colleges were shut for almost 1 year or 18 months? We have, the schedules were haphazard, and then the off and on, the classrooms were closed, and then you were into online. You're spending time, you're taking rest, or you got addicted to social media or something like that. How many of you really utilized this particular 17 or 18 months where you were not really utilizing the entire time going to college, coming back from college, or sitting and spending time in college? What happened? I have utilized it in a very big way, because I went into some online courses. I developed a terrace garden. I learned pencil sketching. Like that, I have done many things. As far as your educational qualifications or whatever you are into, you would have taken up online some foreign language or something like that. You should have gone for German or Spanish or French or whatever. It would have been a better place. The time that you spent at home, instead of going and then getting addicted to social media, you should have enhanced your profile, so that when you apply for a job tomorrow, these are all added things or value addition to your profile. This is what putting that knowledge into practice. People keep acquiring knowledge, but putting it into practice is a big problem. Materialistic, several things are there, but are you happy with whatever is there with you? You're not happy. There is no end for aspiring to have things. We are in a materialistic world. Yes, you need something. Try and understand and differentiate between what a need is and what a luxury is. Of course, mobile phone was a luxury earlier, but now it has become a need. There are several other things that were luxuries earlier that have become needs today. But what exactly you need for you, for yourself. What is yourself? For a happy life ahead. It is not a luxurious life. There is something called, we can learn something from the life of Michael Jackson. You know what Michael Jackson did? He wanted to live for 150 years, but he died at the age of 50 itself. 150 years, to live for 150 years. You know what he did? He employed 12 doctors. They were on service, on duty 24 hours in his house itself. Every day they used to check him. From morning to evening, 12 different doctors used to check. That is one thing. And then in his house or in his bedroom or in the place where he lived in, he ensured that there is quality oxygen flow all the time. Right? All those tests and whatever he has done, everything, he actually wanted to live for almost 150 years. So what he did is he did all such things. But what happened? All this did not work. Maybe I think it is on 25th June 2009, he passed it. He died. All the best of the doctors from across the world tried to save him, but he died. You must be knowing on that day, your Twitter, your Facebook, all these things were blocked because of the lakhs and millions of messages that went through. Nobody expected that he will die at the age of 50. We cannot. It is not in our hands. There was this multi-millionaire. He aspired from your age itself that I have to become a multi-millionaire. He had a limit for that. He said to himself that I'll make maybe 1,000 crores. The day I make 1,000 crores, I will stop working. I will enjoy my life. That is what he decided. For almost, for the till the age of his 50 years of age, he was working for almost 20 hours, 22 hours, 23 hours, sleepless nights. He was putting all effort, everything he did, and then one fine day he said 1,000 crores I reach. That is my asset value, and then I have made 1,000 crores. Enough of it now. From tomorrow, I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to enjoy my life. And then the day before, the day he completed that 1,000 crore, he called a big party and he called all his relatives, everyone, all his friends, and then he had a big bash. And then he said, from tomorrow, I'm not going to work. I'm retiring from today onwards. Next morning, he slept off, and the next day, early in the morning, there was Yamakinkaras waiting. He said, what? They said, your time is off. Now you have to go to hell now. So we are here to carry you. Then he started begging. What is this? I lived for 50 years. I toiled. I done so many things. And then now you are coming and then taking me away. You come next year. They said, no, we cannot. We have to do our duty perfectly. So today is the end of your life. You have to carry. Then he started pleading them. 1 year, I'll give you 10 crores, 20 crores, 100 crores. He also offered them 1,000 crores, but they said, no, nothing doing. You have to go. Not even a single minute we can give you. And that fellow died. Finished. So the theme or the moral from this story or incident that we got to understand, if you get stuck to this materialistic world, mechanical life, rat race, unwanted things in your life, all these things will take you nowhere. This is what I wanted to give you. And that materialism has been defined as a theory that physical well-being and worldly possession constitute the greatest good and the highest value in life. This is what is the thinking. But this materialistic happiness is temporary. Keep on spending on several things. I know you have a lot of passion for several brands. Maybe they are the costliest brands we have in the market. We want to acquire them. But that is all temporary for you. You got to understand this aspect. If there be no eternal life, still the enjoyment of spiritual thoughts as ideal is keener and makes a man happier. Spiritual thoughts. Spiritual thoughts, again, don't get mistaken that puja and then archana and all those things. Spiritual is living happily, ethically, morally. Ethics and morals that are missing today. Whilst the foolery of materialism leads to competition and undue ambition and ultimate death, individual and national. This is what Swami Vivekananda says. Do we not aspire for? You may have 101 questions. Do we not aspire for? I want to get the best of a job. Yes, you do. There is nothing, there is competition there. Today you see IIT, how many are competing? 15 lakh people write the IIT exam, but hardly there are 15 to, I think 15,000 or 20,000 seats there. What's happening to the rest of the 14 lakh 80,000 students who right from their LKG onwards, there is a lot of pressure from the parents to get the IIT, but they could not crack it in the competition. Of course, there are different ways to handle things. You aspire to be in that 20,000 or 15,000 people who can get IIT. If you don't aspire and then you get on casually, things will not work. The seriousness with which we take up things is most important. Most of the people are very, very casual because, you know, you are blessed with roti, kapda and makan. When roti, kapda, makan is bharpur, you're getting it because, you know, you depend on your parents. Your father takes care of your roti, kapda and makan. Precisely every day your mother cooks your roti, is taken care of by your mother, so roti is not a problem. Kapda, every alternate or every month we have a couple of festivals, or if there is no festival, you have your birthday. So dad will take care of, he swipes his card or pays for your kapda. So kapda is not a problem. Makan, father is taking care of, again the EMIs or maybe rent or whatever it is. Makan is also not a problem. When roti, kapda and makan, you're getting it bharpur. Then what's happening to you? You're confining yourself to something called as, you know, comfort zone. You're so comfortable. And when you're feeling comfortable about things, you will not go into that effort zone. Effort, you forget about effort.
Ramesh, Ramesh, mute yourself. Sorry for the inconvenience.
Can I continue?
Yes, sir, please. Yes, sir, please.
Okay. I think that person is in comfort zone. That's the reason why a lot of noise. Fine. This comfort, comfort, comfort. Comfort is good because, you know, if I ask you at what time you get up, do you have good habits? So you're getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning to prepare for your exams or revise what has happened in the classroom yesterday, or are you ready with your assignments and projects that are given to you? All these things, if I ask, you can say that, Array, why to get up at 5 o'clock, sir? I'll get up at 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock because, you know, the weather is so chilled, and you want me to get up early. How can you do that? And we go to bed at around 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock, watching the nicest of the movies in Netflix and all those things. And we go to bed at 1 o'clock. You want me to get up at 5 o'clock, and then from 5 o'clock to 7 or 7:30 is the prime time for sleeping time. Prime sleeping time, because that's when you get good sleep, sound sleep. You know, today's youth are coming out with very, very genuine reasons as far as anything they do in the morning to evening. If someone asks you, including your parents, someone asks you, you have a very, very genuine reason to defend yourself. But what are you defending? You're defending a mistake. You're defending a bad habit. You're defending a bad task that you have performed. Whom are you deceiving? Try to question this to yourself. Whom are you deceiving? You're deceiving yourself, not anyone. Your parents are not permanent. You got to stand on your own feet. What happens tomorrow with you is important. You have to plan for that and then go ahead. If 35 or 40 years, 50 years from now, you got to achieve something. You want to become best of an engineer, best of a doctor, or best of a scientist, or whatever it is, best of a chartered accountant, or whatever it is, or you want to become a CEO of some company or something like that. If that is your ambition or that is your dream that you want to become in the next 40 years to come, then it can be you. If you want to become the president of India also in the next 40 years to come, you got to plan it. You got to lock that. That is the purpose of my life. That is where I have to reach in the next 40 years to come. Then you got to start working, calculating, reverse calculation. If I have to achieve that in the next 40 years to come, what is that I have to achieve in the next 39 years, 38 years, 37 years, next 30 years, next 20 years, next 10 years, next 5 years, this year, this month, this week, today, and now. There should be a connectivity between what you're doing in your daily routine, what you want to achieve after 35 or 40 years. This is planning and then goal setting. You must be confused between what is a dream, sir, and what is a goal, sir. Don't get confused. Dream is something that you have to achieve before you leave this world. The ultimate thing, that is the dream. And Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam very clearly told, dream is not what you see in the sleep. Dream is a thing which will not allow you to sleep. When you sleep, you get a lot of dreams. You get duets and then a lot of things there. That is not the dream he's talking about. Dream is the thing, you have decided that this is what is the ultimate dream. You have to achieve it. Till you achieve it, you do not get sleep. That is the ultimate dream that you got to focus on. Then what is goal, sir? Goal is a time-bound action plan to achieve the dream. I'll make it very simple to you. I want to buy a bike is your dream. What is the goal for that? I want to buy a bike before 31st March 2023. You're setting a goal for that particular dream. Without goals, no dream can be achieved. There must be a time-bound action plan to achieve the dream, whatever may be the dream, whether it is President of India or a best of a chartered accountant or a best of an engineer or becoming a CEO of a company or whatever it is. This is one thing that you got to bear in mind. And then you have these things, that is the Maslow's hierarchy. You might have gone through this in your academics. Biological and physiological needs that are important, where you have the safe roti, kapda, and makan. These are the basic needs and then the safety needs that is provided by your parents or maybe the police or the government or whoever it is. So your safety needs are important, your biological needs are important, your physiological needs are. Once you have all these needs, that must be your, where you live with your parents or parents are taking care of. And then the next step is the love and belongingness needs, and then your self-esteem needs. These are all physiological again. You get married, or maybe you fall in love, or you choose your partner or something like that. This is the second stage where your belongingness. You got to stand on your own feet, and then you got to take care of your family, your wife, your children, all these things. Once you fulfill all these things, that self-fulfillment or self-actualization is the peak that you got to achieve. Here you have to remember more important responsibilities that you're taking care of. There's a match between what is materialistic and then eternal here. The first basic thing that you got to understand is responsibility for yourself is as an individual, to what extent you are going to grow. As an individual, I'm a good with a good character, your personality. Where does the personality come from? Generally, personality is being confused, and then people think that looking good is a personality. Physical appearance, if I look good, my personality is good. I'm handsome. I have a good hairstyle. My complexion is fair enough. So I have a personality. No. Let me tell you, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam is more handsome than Hrithik Roshan. And then Mother Teresa is more beautiful than your Aishwarya Roy or any other heroine. The inner beauty I'm talking about is the most important aspect. Personality is not just your physical appearance. It is not your length, breadth, height, weight, structure, figure. No. Maybe that is also part of your personality, but I would say it is only 5% of your entire personality, but 95% is the character that you have. Bunch of all your characters put together is your personality. What is this character, sir? I'll tell you one incident that happened in Swami Vivekananda's life. One day, Swami Vivekananda, is the way he wears a pagdi and then a jubba and then a dhoti. This Swami Vivekananda was walking on the road, and in those days, British were ruling India. So he was confronted by a Britisher, and then this Britisher says, "What is this funny attire you have? You have a pagdi, jubba, and dhoti. You're looking like a joker. Why don't you wear a three-piece suit like me? A blazer and a shoe, belt, tie, and all these things, and then look like a gentleman." That's what a Britisher said to Swami Vivekananda. Immediately, Swami Vivekananda reacted, and then he said, "In your country, a tailor decides whether a person is a gentleman or not. But in my country, the character of a person decides whether a person is a gentleman or not. That is India," I said. That's the reason why all over the world, India is respected. Because of the character. Everyone wants, right from NASA onwards, till the advisors to the President of United States of America, because we are very intelligent, we are loyal, and then we are also possessing that one important thing that is called as character. All these put together, today we Indians are very popular outside. Every country wants Indians. Every multinational company wants Indians are key decision makers because we are intelligent. The most intelligent breed on earth. Somebody says Jewish breed is very, very intelligent. Jewish breed, they are useful for their own country, but we are useful for the entire world. That's the difference. We are the most intelligent breed. We are great. To have born as a human being itself is a great thing that has happened with you. Somebody told, after all janmas, the final janma, the shreshthamaina janma is Manava janma. And then there are 84 lakh varieties of species, living beings on earth. And after all janmas, you got a human janma. That is, you are a pig, you are a bird, you are a fish, you are a mosquito. You completed all those janmas and then finally arrived at this janma, that is the shreshthamaina janma, that is human being. So you're all great. The first greatest thing that has happened with you, being born as a human being. And the second greatest thing that has happened with you, you're born in India. Karma bhumi, dharma bhumi, lot of credentials are there as far as India is concerned. That is what are the felicitations what we get from other countries. And the third thing is we are in Hyderabad, fastest growing city, and then youngest state we are in. And finally, the fifth thing is we are in Vishweshwari. So all this put together, you're already great. When you are great, you're still thinking of, are my personality is great or not? There is a question mark. Doubt is a killer. Try to understand this. Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam is a personality. Osama bin Laden is also a personality. Swami Vivekananda is a personality. Saddam Hussein is also a personality. What is the difference? We have a positive personality and a negative personality. Now, you want to be a positive personality or a negative personality? That's question mark for yourself. You got to ask yourself this question. If you want to become a positive personality, you got to possess the positive characters. I already told you, bunch of all your characters is your personality. Okay, bhai, where does this character come from? Character comes from the values that you have. Value is, if I give you my mobile phone and ask you what is the value, you will tell 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 50,000, 60,000. That is not. What is the benefit you draw out of it is most important. Values are ethics and morals. Integrity, ethic, moral. Do you have this? Want to build up a good personality, good character is required. For that good character, your values are important. What type of values that you have? Where is your integrity? There was a sculptor chiseling a statue. Already on a 6 feet platform, a similar statue is already there. He's chiseling one more similar statue. Some young person like you went and asked this uncle, already you have one statue installed or erected on one pillar, 6 feet pillar. Are you going to erect this one, which resembles that or which is similar to that, on one more platform? The sculptor uncle said, no, I want to change it because that's a defective one. I'm going to replace it with a new one. Then you went and then saw with a magnifying glass, you did not find any difference there, any defect there. You come back to the sculptor uncle and then ask, uncle, why are you wasting your time and energy? That is not defective. I did not find any defect in it. Then the sculptor uncle said, there is a scar on the nose of that statue, and that is defective. I want to change it. Then you immediately said, you erected it on a 6 feet platform, and the scar is on the top of the nose. Nobody can see it from the ground. You're just wasting your time and energy chiseling one more statue. Why are you doing it? Immediately, the sculptor uncle gave a very powerful reply. You all should remember. He said, he knows that it is defective. God knows that it is defective. And my conscience knows that it is defective. That's the reason why I want to change it. Did you ever think of these type of things in your life? You are on a bike, you jumped a signal, and then immediately the constable caught you. You're supposed to pay 500 rupees, but you took a 50 rupee note and then gave it to the constable. Is that integrity? What is the difference between you who paid 50 rupees as a bribe to the constable and then the person who is in Chenchalguda or Cherlapalli jail, where he has 50,000 crores of scam he did. Whatever you did with 50 rupees and then whatever he did with 50,000 crores is the same. That is integrity I'm talking about. If your values, ethics and morals are good, definitely your character will be good and your personality will be good. So where do you get this, values, ethics and morals? Kahan se aate? Question, because you are in a generation of reasoning and then questioning. So I can guess what questions you have in your mind. If you hesitate to ask, I'll also come out with similar questions and then give you the questions and also the answers. So what's happening is, kahan se aate these values? Values come from the habits that you have. Aapke aadat hain, alawatlu. Do you have good habits or bad habits? So you got to question for yourself. I'm not going to evaluate whether you have good or bad. It's up to you, because based on the purpose of your life, based on that particular destination you want to reach, it depends. It can be a good habit or a bad habit. It depends. Habits, try and understand this aspect. Bad habits, chutke pe you can get it. But good habits, it takes a lot of time. There's one trainer who suggested me about this 21-day habit formation technique. You can also use it. It worked for me. It worked for many. If you want to develop a good habit for yourself in your daily routine, you got to do the same thing for 21 days continuously. Let us take an example. You want to get up in the morning at 5 o'clock in the morning. 5 o'clock in the morning, if you want to make that a habit, it can become a lifelong habit if you seriously try that. Now, 5 o'clock in the morning, you want to make it a habit. You program your alarm at 5. The alarm rings exactly. When the alarm rings, what exactly happens with you? You don't get up. Or maybe you get up and then there is something called the snooze button in it, and you press the snooze button and then you sleep off. It gives you another 10 minutes time. After 10 minutes, again the alarm rings. Again, you use the snooze button. From 5 o'clock to 6:30, you do the same thing. 6:30 or 7 o'clock, your mother or your father kicks you and then you get up suddenly. This is what happens. This is happening because Your mind is going this way, your body is going this way. Exactly at 5 o'clock, when the alarm rings, your mind says, come on, get up. And your body says, tire me, wait for some time, I'll get up later. What is the jaldi? And then you use the snooze button. After 10 minutes, again the alarm rings. Again, your mind says, come on, get up. Again, your body says, hurry, wait. It goes on till 6:30. This is just because your mind is going in one direction, your body is going in another direction, but you have to go, your destination is right opposite to you. Your mind and body should travel like rail ki patri. They have to travel together. There should not be any difference of distance between them. If there is a difference of distance, there is derailment. What is this derailment? Derailment of your life, of your destination, derailment of your Batku Bandi. It stops. This is an important aspect. So sync your mind and body. That is making a good habit. Mind and body synchronization is nothing but making up a good habit. 21-day habit formation technique worked for me. It will work for you also. For 21 days continuously, you got to force yourself. If at all it is, for example, if it is getting up at 5 o'clock, force yourself to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning for 21 days without any break. Suppose for any reason you give a break on the 5th day or 6th day, you got to withdraw that particular scheme and then start off again from that particular day, go for 21 days. It should be 21 days continuously without any break. If you do that, automatically from the 22nd day, that becomes a habit. Please try this. This is very, very important because, at this point of time, as I told you earlier, I again tell you that at this age, I don't blame you, I blame your age. At this age, lot of things happen, lot of attractions that are there. And most of them, you get addicted to unwanted attractions. Unwanted. Addiction. It can be social media, it can be drugs, it can be movies, it can be video games, it can be anything else. But how much of it is required for you is the most important question mark. You got to choose. The habits will not choose you. You got to choose your habit that you want to adopt and then go ahead implementing it. So make up good habits with this particular technique of 21 days habit formation technique. And then you have something called as, where does these habits come from? Habits come from the tasks you perform every day. Every day you have a lot of tasks in your hand. Morning to evening, you get up. From the time you get up till the time you hit the bed, you have 101 things that you do. If all those things are useful things, you will develop useful habits. If all the tasks that you're performing are useless, you will end up with useless habits only. Now, useless habits lead to useless values, and useless values lead to useless character, and then useless personality. So now, how will you check? There is one technique I'll give you to check how much of time you're wasting in your daily routine, how much of unwanted, useless things that you're doing in your daily routine. This is a very important exercise you can do. Take a piece of A4 sheet paper. In that A4 sheet paper, you put 4 columns. First column is from, second column is to, third column is task performed, and the fourth column is remarks column. Now, suppose you got up at 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock. Be honest, whatever time you got up. Suppose you got up at 6 o'clock in the morning. From 6 o'clock to, in the second column, 6:15. You take a 15-minute account, 6 to 6:15. Third column, task performed. Whatever you have done, you write down in that task performed column. Leave that remarks column for the time being. Now, you start writing all those things. 6 o'clock to 6:15, 6:15 to 6:30, 6:30 to 6:45, 6:45 to 7, 7 to 7:15. Like that, every 15-minute account, whatever you have done in that 15-minute, whatever task you have performed in that 15-minute, keep writing in that third column, that is task performed column. Right from the time you got up from bed till the time you hit the bed in the night. After completing all these things for a day, now there is a fourth column that is left out, that's the remarks column. What I want you to do is you got to ask yourself a question against each task that you perform. Suppose 6 o'clock to 6:15, you did a particular task. So you have to ask yourself whether that particular task from 6 o'clock to 6:15, whatever you performed, is it useful for you, for your life, for your career building, for your future or not? If that particular task is useful for your career building, or better future for yourself, then just put a tick in that particular column. If you feel that that is not at all useful for my future or for my career, then put an into in the remarks column. Once you finish off the entire day's task, which will be more? Whether the ticks will be more or the intos will be more? I will challenge with you all, 70% will be intos, useless things. 25 to 30% will be useful things for your future, not for my future, for your future. I will challenge with you, 70% will be useful. Now, 70%, time management is life management. When 70% of the time is being wasted, 70% of the life is wasted. If you can think of and analyze this aspect in life, you can do wonders with your life. You can make impossible things possible because time is under your control. Don't look at time as 24 hours. बहुत छोटा दिखता है, 24 hours. Multiply this 24 into 60, you get 1440 minutes. Sizable. 1440 minutes per day. Further multiply this 60, you get 86,400 seconds. Don't treat them as seconds, they are opportunities for you. Every second is an opportunity for you. Hundreds and thousands of ideas out of your creative brain. God has given you a very, very creative brain. Every one of us. He did not discriminate. Only thing is, you got to use it. Most of you do not use it. That's the problem. You're intelligent. Equally blessed like any other friend of yours. But thing is, you got to put it to use. Then, as I told you, the Madan Mohan Malaviya story, he has put his intelligence to use. Otherwise, gone. Self-control is a strength. As I told you, we have come up to the tasks that we perform. For every task that we perform, there is something called as an impulse, a communication that is coming from your brain. According to the communication that comes from your brain, you're performing things. So it all depends on the thoughts that you get in your brain. You get 70,000 thoughts every day. 70,000 thoughts from the time you get up from bed till the time you hit the bed in the night. This is what psychologists are saying, psychiatrists are saying. Out of these 70,000 thoughts, 75% of the thoughts will be negative thoughts. Unfortunately. Everyone got the same thing. Narendra Modi is getting that 70,000, 75% negative. Swami Vivekananda got the same thing. Abdul Kalam got the same thing. But they converted those negative thoughts into positive thoughts. That's the reason they have become great people. So thought process is also one very important thing. Now, what depends, on the thought process? What exactly happens with your thought process is the environment that you are in. You are in a positive environment, you pick up positive things from that. You are in a negative environment, you pick up negative things on. It can be your friends, it can be jigriyars also. It so happens sometimes, there is a task before you, you got to perform the task. You move your head towards your left or right where your jigriyar is sitting, and then you ask, "Ye mere se hota kya?" 90% of the time, your jigriyar will answer you saying that, "Ye tere se kahan hota re?" You cannot do it. Though you have the capacity to do that particular task, you will not do it because your jigriyar endorsed and then gave a certificate that you cannot do it. This is wrong. Because your jigriyar will not know what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses. Only you know about it. You have more awareness about what strengths you have and what weaknesses you have, not your jigriyar at all. He knows his strengths. You know your strengths. So when you're depending on that person, your life will be as what that person thinks about you. Never do that. Cut off this. This is a mistake that you're doing. So the thought process, if all your thoughts are good, your actions are good, If your actions are good, your habits are good. If your habits are good, your values are good. If your values are good, your character is good, and then the personality is good. So it all boils down to your thought process. Now, self-control is your strength. How you're able to control yourself. There is good, there is bad. Which is more attractive? Bad is more attractive. It pulls you towards itself. You should have the judgment between what is good and what is bad. This is materialistic, this is eternal. If you don't have that clear-cut demarcation between what is good and what is bad for you, for your future, that's important. Good or bad, useful or useless. How do you measure that? You got to measure that with what you want to achieve in life. If for achieving that ultimate thing of my life, whether this particular thing is useful or useless, clear-cut demarcation, and then write down. You did not show it to me or need not show it to anyone. Personalized thing. Writing is a good habit. Come on, jot down the points and then see where are you heading till where are you now at this point of time, and where should I travel? I have to go to the west or left. You are something like you're standing in a junction, a railway junction, like Itarsi or some other place where hundreds of trains keep moving in the day. Which train you got to take? That judgment you got to make for yourself. You have to judge. This is my destination, so I have to take this train and then go and then reach my destination. The right judgment at that particular point is most important. If you take the wrong train, you reach the wrong destination, which you did not aspire for. Right? And then control yourself from all the unwanted things. Okay? Bad, good, sab hota hai, sir. I took a decision, but I failed. What to do? Failures are stepping stones to success. Abraham Lincoln, 1830 to 1860, all failures in his life. Now, with so many failures, he did not get disappointed, demotivated, and depressed or something like that. He lost his wife. He lost in business. Diwala ud gaya. He was mentally retired for some time. 18 times he contested in elections. Finally, 19th time he wins the election and then becomes the president of United States of America. All through 30 years, he was problems, problems, and problems. Do you need problems? Yes, we need. Because problems are stepping stones to success. Keep on praying every day morning. My prayer is different, your prayer is different. Morning you pray, whether you pray or not, I don't know. If you pray, what will you pray? I should be happy, my family should be happy, everyone should be happy, I should be. This is what you pray. But I pray differently. God, give me problems, give me problems, give me problems. Why? Because whatever problems I have gone through in my life, because of that problems, today I am whatever I am. It is not because of successes. That is because of the problems I faced. I solved those problems, and after solving every problem, I become better and better, stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger, and then I reached this place today. So I have respect for all the problems that I've come across. So I want more problems so that I can become more stronger, reach new peaks in my life. So try and understand. Bad and good. Decision making. Go ahead. Take risk. Risk is part of life. And then decision. When you take a decision, you fail. No problem. What happens when you fail? What happens when you're successful? When you're successful, you get awards, rewards, increments, appreciation, felicitation, all these things you get. You get mementos, shields, and all those things when you're successful. What do you get when you fail? When you fail, you get experience. All your experiences put together is success. So to get success, what you need? Your experience. What is experience? Experience comes from the problem, from the failures. Failure comes from the problems. Do you require problems or not? Problems are part of life. More the problems, more success will come in. Face problems, face failures, challenges in life, face them, don't run away from them. Self-control. That is the strength. As Swami Vivekananda very well said, strength Strength is life, weakness is death. Be strong. Be strong all the time. In any situation you are in. You may fail, but failures are stepping stones. Learn from the failures. Calmness is mastery. Do meditation. Calm yourself. You give rest every day for 7 hours or 8 hours every day by sleeping. Are you giving rest to your mind also? Hardware को rest दे रहे हैं, software को नहीं दे रहे हैं. Give rest to that also. Sit calmly and then master that calmness. You'll get lot of energy when you sit for meditation. 5 minutes, 10 minutes alone, nothing to do with any religion. Just try and then make the thoughts blank. No thought level. Practice it, you'll get it. You have to get to a point where your mood does not shift. Go to a point in that meditation, calmness. Mood should not shift. That comes from practice. You can practice that. Don't allow others to control the directions of your life. Never, never do that. You and only you are 100% responsible for whatever is happening with you and whatever is going to happen with you. Don't blame others for that. Never, never. Take the right decision. You may fail. Learn from the failure. Again, go ahead. Keep falling. Keep getting up. If you go through the autobiographies of all the international, national leaders, you might not have read them, but if you read, I read a lot of autobiographies, and then I'll tell you the gist or saramsh of all those autobiographies is very simple. Whoever had highest number of problems has become greatest person in this world. You want to become great? Then face problems. Highest number of problems that you can. Listen to your own voice, your own soul. Where is that? Talking about eternal. Listen to yourself. There is something called as you and yourself. Listen to that. Your mind, brain. What's happening in your thoughts? What is your mind? Bunch of all your thoughts put together is mind. There is no physical structure for your mind. All your thoughts put together is your mind. That is there. There's a connectivity to the brain. So they say that, all the thoughts that come in. Brain is that organ that gives you all those thought process. From there, the instructions flow through all parts of your body. Many people listen to the noise of the world instead of themselves. आपके बारे में सुनो. आपके साथ, you listen to yourself. Don't go and listen to someone else. There are a lot of people who give you, free suggestions and then free opinions, free suggestions. A lot of people. उचिता सलाह तेलुगु में देने वाले बहुत है. बगल में ही बैठे रहते हैं. Your jigriyar will be giving you, because you keep asking. You have the habit of asking. You take the decision, not your jigriyar, because you know your strengths. Don't allow your emotions to empower your intelligence. Very, very important. I've already covered this as far as the anger of Nizam of Hyderabad is concerned in that particular incident of Madan Mohan Malak. Never, never. Your intelligence is there, but emotion should not empower that. Easy to judge the mistakes of others. Difficult to recognize our own mistakes. There is a saying that people keep telling that when you put your finger towards someone, point out towards someone, 3 fingers are actually pointing towards you.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. Then easy to talk without thinking. Difficult to refrain the tongue. You can talk anything, but be careful. What are you talking about? When you're talking about something, the quality of vocabulary that you're using when you're doing the discussion or when you're talking, the quality of vocabulary that you're using while you're doing that conversation with someone, people who are listening to you will understand to which, the type of personality that you have based on the vocabulary that you're using. Be very careful on that. And then there is something called easy. Easy is to hurt someone who loves you. Difficult is to heal the wound. It might have happened to you earlier also. Let me tell you about mother, respect for your mother. it has become very easy for your age group to hurt everyone. But try and understand how much of love your mother has for you. There is a there is an elderly person, elderly mother. She is there in the old age home for almost 15 years. Her son, only son, he went to pursue his career. He is there in US, UK. He is going across the world, but he did not really have time to come to his mother and then spend some time with his mother. So one day he got a call from the old age home. The old age home authorities told that your mother is going to die. She is going to live for the next 5-6 days or so. So why don't you come and then spend these few days with her? That is what is the request from the old age home, because she is there for the last 15 years. You did not come to see her. At least for the next 5 days, you can make it. The son flew from wherever he was across the world, and then he came and he was decided to spend that few days with his mother. He was at the bedside, and then mother was talking to the son, and then she said, "Son, I have one last wish. You got to fulfill it." He said, "Mother, okay, I will fulfill it definitely. What is that wish?" She said, "This old age home does not have fans. I want you to donate fans to this old age home. That is my last wish." That's what the mother said. Son immediately reacted and then said, "You are here for the last 15 years. There were no fans for the last 15 years. But you know that you're going to die in the next few days. Why do you want me to donate fans now? Anyway, not going to enjoy the fan, the comfort of the fan." Immediately the mother said, "When you grow old, when your children bring you and then join in this old age home, I want you to be comfortable, son." That is mother's love. Even in her deathbed, she is thinking about the comfort of her son. Are we respecting this particular people, to her mother and father, parents? Are we doing it? That love, easy to hurt someone who loves you, but difficult to heal the wound. You cannot heal it. And next is, easy is to set rules, difficult is to follow them. Practice before you preach. You keep talking about rules, but did you ever, implement those things or follow them? That is important. Don't keep preaching people. You have to do it, right? Keep on. When the current goes off, you talk about, "Arey, kya government hai, power cut hai." But did you ever think of when you really were wasting electricity for unwanted things? You did not think about that. Now, easy to dream every night, difficult to fight for a dream. Try and understand, uh, building castles, building castles in the air. Keep doing that. People say you should not do that. But I would say, build castles in the air, but try and then lay foundation under it. That is what you got to do. Okay. And then the next one is, easy is to show victory. How excited you will be as far as victory is concerned. Difficult is to assume defeat with dignity. Whatever it is, you should be in a position to take it, whether it is victory or defeat. Life is all, it is, it can be good things, it can be bad things. Good and bad put together is life. So you should be in a position, what type of an emotion you're really depicting, as when it is when you won something or when you lose something. That is very, very important. Easy to stumble on the stone, difficult is to get up. Stumbling, that is nothing but failures, are very, very common. It happens. Easy is to enjoy life every day. Difficult is to give its real value. Value of life is very, very important. Easy is to promise something to someone. Difficult is to fulfill that promise. Very, very important. You promise your parents. Easy is to say we love. Difficult is to show it every day. You love your parents, love anyone. Easy is to make mistakes. Difficult is to learn from them. Try and learn from your mistakes. Easy is to weep for the lost relationship. Difficult is to take care of and not to lose it. Very, very important. Easy is to think about improving. Difficult is to stop thinking and put it in action. Very, very important. Easy to think bad of others. Difficult is to give them benefit of doubt. So these are the important things that you got to, as far as knowledge is concerned, as far as balancing your knowledge, as far as materialistic things, and also the unending process. Right? Easy is to read this, difficult is to follow. Okay. And finally, easy is to keep the friendship with words, difficult is to keep it with meanings. Okay. So from this is the end of my session. I think I still have around 5 minutes to go. So if you have any questions, I will take the questions from you. 85 or 84 left out. It went up to 92, and then 7 non-serious people dropped out, and 84 is the figure right now. Any questions, please? If you're hesitating, at least put in the chat box so that I'll answer. Anyone?
Sir, good afternoon, sir.
Very good afternoon, Sanat.
This is Sanat Kumar. Okay,
Yeah.
sir, I have a small doubt regarding this session. Sir, if we take Mahabharata as example, Karna and Bhishma, can we follow them, sir, in the today's scenario, in current scenario? Can we follow them?
We can. You decide. We can follow.
But if we follow as them, we would not survive in this generation, sir.
That is what is your doubt, because you can change the generation, or you can change the people around you by changing yourself. We can. Mahabharata, I'll tell you one story which you just try to review whether you can follow that particular incident that happened on the 5th day or 6th day. Dharmaraj is considered to be the embodiment of all dharma. It happened with him. 5th day, Kauravas used to have one camp, and then Pandavas used to have one camp in the evening time after they finish off the Yuddham for the day. And on the Pandava side, one brother used to be the sentry for the whole night, to take care of the the entire soldiers and all those people, Sainyam. So when one day Bhima was on duty, and then he suddenly saw that Dharmaraj was missing from his dera. He was worried, and then he became alert, and he was about to wake up all the other brothers also, to tell them that big brother is missing. Suddenly, from the Kauravas camp, he noticed a torch coming towards the Pandavas camp. They became very alert, because somebody from the enemy camp is coming into our camp, and immediately they became alert. And when the torch comes near with that person, Bhima was surprised to see Dharmaraj with the torch. He is coming from the enemy's camp. Immediately asked, "Brother, what is this? You're coming from the enemy camp." Immediately Dharmaraj said, "Who is the enemy?" Kauravas are our enemies, and then we are fighting war with them, Yuddham with them. What is the timing of the Yuddham? He asked. Yuddham is from 10 o'clock or so to 6 o'clock. Sunset, they close. After sunset, they are not my enemies. So I have gone to the Kaurava camp. Whoever are injured on that side, I am offering my services to those soldiers, and then coming back. That is my dharma, he said. That is Dharmaraj. Now, if you Sanat, if you just try and then see that, can we implement this in today's world? We can, because you have a doubt that if I do it, I'll become only single person, and the entire society will just alienate me. No, you can teach others also. What was Dharmaraj's Bhishma's dharma? You spoke about Bhishma and Karna. Bhishma's dharma was, on the day 1 or day 5th day, till the 5th day, he was pouring in, and with the ability of of Bhishma, half of the Pandava soldiers were died. Fifth day itself, Pandavas lost almost 50% of their Sainyam. So Dharmaraj goes in disguise into Kaurava camp to Bhishma's dera and then asks him, Tata, what are you doing? You're killing. You're going against Dharma. He said two things. Very, very important you should remember, Sanat. One thing is, yes, that is my Dharma because I am living in Duryodhana's kingdom. So as a person living in Duryodhana's kingdom, I have to respect his feelings. I am drinking, eating everything that is there in his kingdom. So I have to, that is my first Dharma. Second Dharma is for Loka Kalyanam, I have to do something. So Loka Kalyana Dharma is, I am telling you the secret, tomorrow morning you bring Shikandi, I am going to do Astra Sanyas and then from tomorrow onwards I will not. That is for the Loka Kalyana. Two types of dharmas he has taken this. People may have lot of debates and conversations about it, but Sanat, it is easy. It may not be easy, but it is not impossible to bring in that dharmas here. In this present world, that is what we are doing sitting in Ramakrishna Math. We have 200 people sitting in one session. Even if 2 people change, I feel that in the next 20 years to come or 100 years to come, the world will change. We are there with that hope and then doing it. A lot of people are coming in and then taking that wisdom that we are trying to impart there. Hope I answered you, Sanat.
Thank you, sir.
Any other question, please? Pushpaji,
Yes, sir.
I think there are no questions. You can.
Yeah.
No one wants to ask. We can close it.
Yeah. So
I want to talk something, sir.
Yeah, Ragasudha, tell me.
Good afternoon, sir. Thank you for your valuable insights on the topic balancing knowledge, materialistic and eternal. From the stories you told us, we got to know about how we are being so materialistic and how we are not balancing the life. We are giving more importance to entertainment and we are not focusing on the thoughts and positive actions. We observe that all people are great, but it's our responsibility to decide whether to become a positive personality or a negative personality. And I want all of our students to take responsibility of your life and understand the fact that failures are stepping stones of success. So go ahead and take the risk. Don't allow your emotions to empower your intelligence. And not only this, there are so many plenty of knowledge we have to carry from this session. Thank you for your valuable time allotted for us, sir.
Okay, thanks a lot for all the students. Though I could not see all the faces, but hope I have given some gyan to you, which will be useful for in your life to lead a better life.
Obviously, sir, in this pandemic time, this is much required to know our habits and to follow that 21 days technique and to conduct that time management test. I think at least more than half of the students will get to know about this now only, that 21 days technique. So we will look into it, sir.
Very glad. Okay, shall we close the session?
thank you, Murthy sir. Though you are very busy, when I approached you without any hesitation, you said, okay, I'll come and I teach. So we provided a platform. And seriously, sir, out of 90 people also, even I'm also getting some responses. Thank you, sir, Bolke. So end of the day, what I quote one point is character is basement. So from Vivekananda, he also quoted all the time, character, character, character. If you are making strong your character, then you can conquer the world as well. Thank you so much for your valuable words, sir, that going to be imparted and encourage all our students. Thank you so much from bottom of my heart and from Vishwani Management as well. Namaskar, sir. Thank you so
Namaskar,
much.
thank
Have a
you,
wonderful
thank you.
day.
All the very best to every one of you. Bye.
Thank you so much, sir. Have a great day, sir. Thank you. Thank you, dear students.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.